Hello, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Yo, what up? My name is Mitch Bowleg, and I would like to share with you guys my uno, dos, tres, cuatro, not cinco. We don't need five, only four. 4 tips for how to be a successful lead electric guitarist in any church. But before I go into it, to make sure that you know that I'm not just some hobo traveling around jumping from train to train that knows nothing about the finger-picking device of a electronic guitar, let me tell you a little bit about myself and my resume. Well, of course, my name is Mitch Bowleg. That gives me enough criteria right there. The name Mitch, perfect. That just means professional guitarist. Just kidding. But I am a recording artist. I'm a recording worshiper guy. I lead worship. I've written and recorded some songs. Some of them have been on local radio stations. Hashtag not famous. Hashtag because on local radio. Hashtag never heard of me. Hashtag why am I doing so many hashtags? But I've played in all sorts of different churches, okay? I've led worship in a lot of churches, but mainly these last couple of years, I've been playing lead electric and pretty much every time I'm invited to play in a service. In fact, even when I'm leading worship, I tend to always play lead electric still, or I always have an electric guitar on me. I've played in all sorts of different churches. Never huge churches, but I'm from Nebraska. And so I've played in plenty of churches in Nebraska, the Midwest. I've also traveled throughout the South, and I've played in a lot of different churches in the South. I'm currently living in South Korea. That's really South. And I played in just one church here one time, and they said, don't come back. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But I played in a lot of different churches. I played professionally in churches, and I've also just volunteered in churches. The least amount I've ever been paid in church was volunteer work. Hey, free. Actual incentive, I've been given free food. So that was probably the least I've ever been paid. And then the most I've been paid was working in a Lutheran church as a session guitarist, and I was making $150 per service, which isn't bad. I mean, if you think about it, I know guys that make more than that, but you never heard of me before. That's not bad for someone you've never heard of. So regardless of what church you're playing in, if it's a super small church, 5 people in the middle of the woods, okay, are you actually at a church or is it some Satanist group? I would ask that first. But so regardless if you're playing at a small church or you're playing at like a huge, massive mega church with 10 billion people, well, that's more than planet Earth. Maybe it's New Hillsong Mars Church. Bing. Maybe it's Hillsong Mars. And so whether you are playing in a small church, big church, no, regardless of denomination, these 4 tips are what you need to know. Don't miss it right now. Okay, and before I hop into it, of course, I have to say this because there's going to be some super holy, self-righteous people that know the Lord more than me, apparently, that are going to come on here and say, but you didn't mention the walk with God. The lead guitarist must walk with God. Well, okay, of course. I'm assuming that everyone watching this video is following God, and that's the reason you're interested in playing in a church. But so I'm not talking anything about spiritual, nothing about walking with God. Of course, that's important. Of course, I believe in it. Watch my other videos. Yes. But this is about building the skill set. You know, in the Psalms, it talks about playing your instrument skillfully. Why did my lights just go off? Okay, back on. Perfect. And so, yes, the psalmist talks about playing your instrument skillfully. And today we're going to be talking about the skill set. We're not talking about the spiritual side of it. This is the nitty-gritty. This is the practical application, how to be better at your instrument. You know, you're going to walk into a church. I hope you have the chops to do it. So let us begin. All right, my first tip, point number 1, is to learn your parts by ear. So when you get the song, where you get the set list, you want to first listen to the song. Don't even think about what your part is yet. Just first listen to the song, develop the ear for it, kind of figure out what the dynamics of the song is. What parts are really soft? what parts kind of build up to a crescendo, are really aggressive. When does it open up at? Just kind of get a feel for the song. But after you listen to it, maybe once or twice, then you need to figure out, okay, what are the parts that you are going to be playing in the song? So as the lead guitarist, pretty much if we're playing like an early 2000s CCM song, there's probably like an electric guitar intro. It seems like every early 2000s CCM song has like some kind of lead electric guitar part in the intro, and then the lead electric goes out at the first verse, comes back in during the pre-chorus, and then is really big during the chorus. I mean, you guys will figure out, the more songs you listen to and you actually like insect, you know what I mean? Did I really just say that? I didn't mean insect, I meant dissect. You go inside and are looking at it, how like the songs are formed. They pretty much all follow this kind of same pattern in CCM. And so you're going to want to learn your part. And I emphasize the part by ear. I can tell you right now that you're probably going to be placed in situations, again, this is you're getting paid to play in a church. The worship leader is probably at some point in time going to say, hey, can you play something like this? And maybe he or she's going to be like, and is going to tell you something that he or she wants you to play and is just trusting you to be able to pick it up by your ear. Or maybe they'll go over to the piano, and I know this has happened to me tons of time, and they're like, hey, can you play this? And they'll play like some notes on the piano, and you have to be like, oh, okay, sure. And just automatically go to your instrument and play it by ear. So you have to be able to develop that ear training. And guys, girls, everyone, so many people do not develop their ear. And it's insane, because I'm telling like people, you need to develop your ear because it's like common sense. But the reality is common sense isn't so common. I mean, think of American Idol and all these people that go on American Idol and they think they can sing and they think they're going to be the next American Idol, and then all of a sudden the judges are laughing in their face because they sound like a dying donkey. Well, why can't they hear it? Why can't, when they were practicing at home, were they not able to go, you know what, I'm off pitch. You know what, I don't sound good. You know what, I should not quit my day job. Well, they never develop their ear. And some people cannot tell what sounds good from what sounds bad, which is miserable and it's very sad. But it's important for you to develop your ear. Now, I would say this, and this is because I know who I'm talking to, and I know a lot of churches. I would say my number one thing is telling you guys you need to develop your ear, learn your parts by ear. There's tons of YouTube videos. I'm sure if you're playing a popular song, you can find how to play the part on YouTube, someone teaching it to you. But it's so much better for you if you can learn it by ear. However, I would say this, don't also become too dependent on your ear. Now, for a lot of people, you need to depend more on your ear. You need to develop your ear. You need to strengthen your ear. But I know for me, like the last couple years, I was depending way too much on my ear. I knew nothing about music theory. And so for about the last year or 2 years, I've been studying music theory. It's made me so much more of a better musician. And I've been in situations before, because I could play everything by ear. But when, a guy I worked for, he was like the worship director, and he said, okay, we're playing a chord. Can you add a 7 into that chord? And I was like, what? You know what I mean? And I was trying to act like I knew what he's talking about, but I knew nothing of music theory. So now I could be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. But back then, I had no idea anything about music theory. So I just relied so much on my ear. So, you don't want to depend too much on your ear. You actually want to learn some theory. But at the same time, if you aren't already learning your parts by ear, then you really need to learn it by ear. And this is another side one. This is a free one. Learn to be able to transpose what you're playing. Because you might, learn the song in G, and then you go to rehearsal and you're playing in A, So be able to learn to transpose.
Ukulele solo!
All right, guys, my second tip, not the peace sign, but tip number 2, is to learn to play to a metronome. Oh my gosh, this is like the most important thing. I don't care what music you're playing. I don't care if you're playing in church or whatever. You need to play to a metronome because you need to be playing the right tempo. You need to be able to play in time. And if you're playing in pretty much any modern church today, I mean, literally, like, I can maybe count on my fingers the churches I've been to that don't use in-ear monitors. Every modern church is using in-ear monitors. And when we use in-ear monitors... Oh, wait, here, I have a pair right here. I can show you. These things! When we use in-ear monitors, what happens? We are listening not only to ourselves, but not only are we playing like backing tracks, but we have a metronome in our ears. And we have some kind of MD or music director guiding us through the music. And so you have to be able to play to a metronome. I mean, it's like, if you can't do that, then you're in big trouble. However, I always encourage people because for me, I was always intimidated by a metronome. Of course, I record music though. And so being able to record music, I mean, you have to record with a metronome to be able to like record music in this day and age. Now, of course, if you want to try to like remake music from the 60s and, you know, before having a click, you can do that. You're going to need to get the entire band together. But what happens nowadays, how I record anyways, is I record a part with a metronome, with a click, send it to another musician that I need you to play drums on it. And because they have what BPM I'm playing at and I recorded it to a click, they're able to record to the song and everything can be synchronized, not secretized, but synchronized together. And so, you know, anyways, guys, I used to be afraid of, you know, playing to a click. I used to think, oh, it's really intimidating. But it's honestly not that hard. And once you're with a whole band and you're playing together, it's really not difficult, especially when you add, like, if you're playing with a backing track or looping, like, you know, some kind of backing track where there's stems that are playing with you and you're, like, playing to pre-recorded parts. It's not too hard. You're playing with it, you're following the song. And what I love about metronomes is that you can tell if you're off time because the metronome's not going to stop. It's not going to stop and say, hey buddy over there, can you catch up? You know, it's going to keep moving forward with the song. And so you need to make sure that you're in sync with it. But don't be scared because like I tell people, once you hear it, you know, once you start doing it, it's just kind of like natural for you to get in sync with it. But anyways, you need to be able to play with a metronome because every modern church, certainly if you're going to be in a big church, maybe some smaller churches aren't using metronomes, but even in that case, you still want to practice with a metronome because you're going to be getting better at playing in time and playing in tempo. And so anyways, you definitely want to be able to play with a metronome, and that's my second tip. I thought I'd share with you just a cute little story. When I was really young, like in high school, and, you know, I was trying to get better at being a good musician, and, you know, I was scared of the metronome. What I used to do is I downloaded a metronome app on my phone, and I would bring my headphones with me, and I would listen to the radio in my car, and whatever song I would listen to, I would tap the tempo on the metronome app, and I would listen to the click in my ear, whether it be 4/4 or 6/8 time, and I would count out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would do that as I was driving. And yes, people thought I was crazy, but it made me a better musician. All right, guys, that was my evil twin brother. He's kind of a psycho. He just took my phone. I got it back, though. So we're on to point number 3, which is, this is kind of funny one, but the ability to play rhythm guitar. Now, you're thinking, wait, I thought this video is about lead electric, and don't the lead electric players just play some licks, maybe do some swells during the verse, and then we just kind of sit out and we kind of look at that acoustic guitarist, acoustic guitar, look at that thing. I mean, I don't see any electronics on there, or, well, I guess it does if it plugs in, but... No, okay, here's the thing, guys. When you spend so much time playing lead electric, it's great, it's important, but again, this is the whole part about playing in time. you want to be able to still play rhythm guitar. You don't want to forget how to play rhythm guitar, because your worship director is probably going to say, hey, can you just play rhythm guitar here? More than likely that's going to happen. You're not just going to be, jamming the whole time, improvising, playing solos, which, one, that'd be pretty awesome. I wish, but no, it would probably be, there's going to have some times when you just have to play rhythm guitar. And so you don't want to neglect that ability. It's kind of like when you're working out. If you're just only look at me, I'm teaching you guys about working out, and I definitely do not work out. Goals, maybe 2021, it'll be a better year. Maybe I'll be fit by then. But COVID-19 hashtag. But so anyways, here I'm giving you a workout analogy. If you let's say you're just lifting dumbbells, right? You're getting your arms big. But if you don't ever work out your legs, you're going to have chicken legs. Same thing with guitar, guys. If you're only practicing and playing lead guitar parts, but then one day they're like, hey, can you actually, our acoustic guitarist is out, can you play acoustic on this song? You're going to have to pick up the acoustic and be able to play parts. You're going to have to be able to strum, finger pick, do that whole thing. And so while you are mainly a lead electric guitar player, you still need to be able to play rhythm guitar. It's fundamentally important. In fact, you should not even try to play lead guitar if you cannot play rhythm guitar, because the foundation of lead electric is based upon rhythm guitar. So you want to be able to be a good rhythm guitarist. Okay, that's my third point. And on to point number 4. Point number 4, this is the final one. Every time I get this thing, I just want to yes, it's Febreze. You've been Febrezed. You don't smell anymore, okay? Stop looking at it. I know I'm not trying to show it to you. I'm trying to block it out of my angle, but it's there, okay? Okay. Anyways, 4th and final point. Amen. Before we come to the altars tonight. No. So my 4th point, guys, is knowledge of your fretboard. Ooh, I can feel some people getting roasted right now. Here's the truth. You need to know every single note on your neck. Not this neck, but that neck, the guitar neck. You need to know where every note is. And you just, in general, need to have knowledge of your fretboard. Like, what kind of wood is it made out of? Okay, not that kind of knowledge. I'm being really facetious and funny in this video. But you need to be able to know some music theory. I'll be honest, so I do a lot of improvisation. I love that kind of music. I'm a big blues guy. I did a little bit, kind of mess around with jazz for a little bit. I appreciate jazz. I'm not a great jazz guitarist, more of a blues guy, but I love improv. I love jamming. I love that kind of stuff. It wasn't until, though, I studied modes and I learned and memorized every single mode that I became really good at improvising. So that just goes to show you that you should study music theory. But I would say, the most fundamental thing you do, which it seems like everyone that teaches guitar skips this step, which is wrong. We shouldn't do it. You should learn every note of the guitar. Pianists, when they learn piano, they teach them every note. But for some reason, when we teach guitar, we just show people shapes. This is a G shape. This is a C shape. And I get it, because people they learn by visual aid, and I understand. And that's how I learned. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to learn every note. Where is every note on your fret? It's going to make your life so much more easier, and especially when you learn theory. Because if you're in the situation like I was before, hey, we're playing this chord. Let's say we're playing a C major chord. Hey, can you throw in a 7? Okay, well, before I didn't know what that is. But now I can say, okay, he wants me to add a B note. Okay, so I'm going to have to play a B note here. Well, if you don't know where a B is on your neck, what are you going to do, right? So you need to be able to say, okay, well, here I am. Here's a note. Here's a B note right here. And then boom, and then there you go. So having the knowledge of where every single note is on your neck is going to be so important. How I memorized it, and this is what I would recommend to you. There's other videos out there. You can look it up. But try just memorizing whole notes. Don't worry about the flats, sharp. Don't worry about that. Just go, okay, you know, here is F. All right, here is G. Here is A. If you can memorize that up to the 12th fret, then you're good as gold. Because if you can know where those are, it's going to be really easy to go, okay, can you find us in F sharp? Well, you know where F is. So it's just one more, a half step in front of the F chord or the F note. Or just behind G, the G note. Okay, and here's the thing is if you can memorize where each note is on every single string, then you're literally good as gold. So that would be my fourth and final tip for you guys. So to relist them in order, number 1, learn your parts by ear. Number 2, practice with a metronome, which means play in time. Number 3, make sure you can still play rhythm guitar. And then lastly, number 4, know your fretboard. So these are my 4 tips for anybody, anywhere that's going to be successful playing lead electric guitar in church professionally. Guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. And please let me know. Comment below. Comment below what you guys think is also important. I know I'm not talking about everything here. I just wanted to make 4 simple points. But comment below what also is extremely important for playing lead electric. Let me guys know. Comment below any funny experiences also you've had playing lead guitar in church before. I love hearing those stories. All right, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends and your other guitarist people, and make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell, the notification bell for more videos in the future. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Yo, in case you guys can't see the instruments behind me, here we have 7-string. Love this one, customized it. This is a Carparelli 7-string. Don't know if I said that right. 6-string Filipino brand. And then the little Noah ukulele.